Hello and welcome back to Camp Ash. We will be beginning the Miriam route. Also, when was this here? I don't recall that being there. Let me see what that is real quick. Tell me, fellows. Oh, never mind. I'm assuming that's just to allow you to go through the story a little bit faster. But I already kind of did that myself earlier, literally right before I started recording, and that wasn't there. So like I said, we're gonna be starting the Miriam route and then the Ernesto route. So a little setting up first, I guess. When you decide to either stay with Janice, Duke, and Dale, I decided to go with Ernesto, which is similar to what happened in the Trisha route. And then for Miriam, I will be sticking together. And then for Ernesto, I will be splitting up. I'm only telling you that because that only changes a few little things, but like it's pertinent so that you know, because inevitably somebody's gonna ask me like, hey, wait a minute, that didn't happen in my route, or they didn't say that in when I played it or whatever. It's like, well, you know why now. I will be beginning from the part where you decide to split off with either with one of the three groups, meaning, you know, either with Dale or Janice, Trisha or Duke, or Ernesto and Miriam. So just so you know. And I will be doing it for both of them starting from that point, because there is enough to show like the little differences. So yeah. Anyways, so what else? You know, creepy things are gonna happen, obviously. I wonder how it's gonna go because, you know, lately it seems like Ernesto and Miriam get like the short end of the stick. They're usually like the first ones to go out, or the ones to go out in a really unfortunate way. So I'm interested to see how it's gonna happen for them, for the rest of them, I mean. What else? I'm also interested to see the evils or whatever it is that decide to show up in this and in these two routes. But of course I'm gonna start with Miriam and then, you know, Ernesto. And of course there is the last route, the final route, which I'm assuming is for Chip, the one that you end up seeing like when you see like the tarot cards. But yeah. Anywho, so yeah, without further ado, let us begin the Miriam route. So like I said, I'm gonna go with Ernesto and Miriam this time to the maintenance and the storage sheds. I'll go with Ernesto and Miriam to the sheds. They're the closest buildings, so if they get done early, we can make it to the boathouse. That makes sense to me. See you guys in a bit. The other group walks out of Wickenburg's cabin as Miriam talks with Ernesto about the keys. Who's gonna keep track of the keys? I'm gonna hold on to the extras. Seems like it makes sense for a groundskeeper. I might need to get into any building at night. Guess that makes sense. I'm just not sure how I feel about the only person with master keys being the only one we don't know. Well, how do you think I feel? It's not like these positions were only open for Echo residents. But that seems to be the only people who applied. Besides, Duke, we haven't given you any reason to be wary of us. And what have I done to make you feel wary? Miriam takes a few moments to think. Well, I've definitely seen you around the campus before. Your fur pattern is striking enough, and there aren't that many red wolves in the area, let alone at all. I've seen you too. You always have your hat on. I'm sorry. I think I'm just a bit spooked from earlier. And well, there's no way that you could have done it. You're still the only one that we don't know. I grew up with everyone else. It's hard to trust anyone outside of our circle. Does it have to do with the town? Just the people in it. Miriam gives me a look that's halfway between thankful and disgusted. Let's get going. I want to start the fire before it gets too late. We make our way out of Wickenburg's cabin and down the path. The sheds are just down a few steps, barely out of the way of the staff accommodations. Both lack any kind of power and are practically more than a shack. One has a padlock attached to a heavy-set chain, locking its door. The one with the chain is the storage. I guess that's more important than keeping this place running. Ernesto unlocks the storage shed. then passes Miriam the key. We'll start with this one. I need the daylight for most of my tasks. We walk inside the shack. A dusty wooden floor greets us with creaks and moans. Shelf after shelf of canned goods, beddings, and outdoor equipment sit quietly and still. Miriam places a lantern on top of one of the shelves, bathing most of the room in light. We have to make a catalog of everything. Make sure it matches with last year's checkout list, and see if Henry needs to grab anything from the city before camp starts. Here's a list of everything that we need to check first. Miriam shows us the paperwork that she was given. I'm not familiar with all of these. They sound like brand names or names that I haven't needed to learn the English for. I can help you out, dude. The wolf smiles wide as we get to locating everything on the list. While you boys do that, I'm gonna take care of some paperwork that's by the front of the room. We split into 2 groups and start scavenging the area. Ernesto picks up fast on most things, even if he can't pronounce everything. I guess it makes sense if he's been here a full year already. It actually makes my cheeks burn thinking about how ignorant I was being with him, able to learn words in English so fast. He's an adult, not some kid. And just because he doesn't know things in English doesn't mean that he's stupid. I've been listening to Duke spout too much bullshit recently. We end up moving a few boxes around for Miriam. They're not too heavy, but certainly easier for 2 men to do it than 1 woman, even if Miriam is pretty strong. Before I realize it, I've worked up a pretty dense layer of sweat on my fur, which makes me realize that I'm probably pretty ottery down there. I'm pretty sure that I sprayed this morning, but it was so long ago and so much has happened since then. What's that smell? Oh damn. Ernesto hushes me with a finger brought up to his maw. Smells like mold, no? Yeah. I wonder if there's any damage under these floorboards. I can take a look tomorrow. Shouldn't be too much of a hassle. It's over by the entrance, right? Yeah. How did you know? Sensitive canine nose. Why didn't you say something sooner? I smell a lot of things that aren't there anymore. If someone else can still smell it, I know it's probably still there. I guess that makes enough sense. Well, thank you anyways. Thank me after I take care of it. That being said, the wolf makes his way towards the door. It looks like all the heavy lifting is done in here. If you guys need me, I'll be right next door, getting set up for tomorrow. Will you be okay by yourself? Well, whatever is going on is weird. I feel like we're not in any danger. Plus, I am just a holler away. If you're fine with it, just don't head back by yourself, okay? We'll go and help you if you need anything else when we're done. Si, señora. Ernesto disappears behind the door in a moment. I've never realized how heavy his accent was until he started speaking his native language. What an interesting man. It only takes a few minutes for us to finish with our first set of tasks. Is there anything else that we need to do, Miriam? That was the main bulk of it, but there's some organizing that I need done with one of the boxes. The campers are supposed to fill out forms to rent equipment, but it all got mixed together on accident. She sits on the floor and dumps a box of papers everywhere. Care to join me? I stifle a sigh and grab the farthest papers before sitting down next to her. We go about the mindless task quick enough. So, how have things been in Echo this year? They've been okay. Just work and hanging out still. With Jan and Dale. We try to make it to most of Duke's games too. So your first year of really being an adult has been good then? Yeah, I was happy to be done with school. You ever think about going back? About getting an education and getting out of there? Are they paying you to recruit for Pueblo? She chuckles a hearty belly laugh. I wish. Ever been in state? The tuition is killer. I just want what's best for my friends. I stop moving the papers around. I know it's been 2 years since we've really hung out, but I know you guys your whole lives. I like to think of everyone in Echo as one big family. You sure that isn't the Mormonism talking? We have that in common too. You know, I don't actively practice or plan to. And that's the part that we have in common. Sounds like a scandal for the Moore family. Just like a Bronson skipping town. What? What do you mean? Well, if you get that education and leave, you would think that it would cause a scandal, no? I continue stacking papers. Everything is a scandal when nothing happens. Miriam thumps her tail in the dirt behind us. Yeah, Echo. The town where nothing happens. We both laugh. Yeah, that crazy old town where nothing happens, where we weren't getting into trouble every weekend, drinking or getting into places that we shouldn't, staying out too late and hanging out with people that we shouldn't have. The town where nothing happens at all. So, why'd you stop by Echo? Shouldn't Trisha have went out of town towards Pueblo? I'm sure that she could have gotten a ride. If not pay for a taxi, yeah. But I had to stop by at home and give something to my folks. Did the mayor need some Mistin artifact that you uncovered to stop the curse on our town? Miriam gives me a nasty side-eye. How did you know? Well, I was just kidding. As long as you don't tell anyone, I'm sure that we won't have to take you out. She continues to sort the papers like the conversation wasn't totally wild. Either she's weirder than I thought or stone cold at playing the joke. Guess we all have our secrets. And that's why you'll never get out of Echo. My head throbs for a second. What was that? What was what? What you just said. About having you assassinated? That was just a joke, Bronson. No, right after that. I didn't say anything. I think you're crazy. Are you messing with me? Miriam smiles wide, eyes going wide. Am I messing with you? Hey, you can't play jokes on me. I'm not a little kid anymore. Miriam starts laughing, losing her faux stoicism. I'm sorry, Chip. It's too easy to get you guys sometimes. I cover my eyes with my paws in embarrassment. Ugh, it's been so long since you got me this bad. You should have seen Trisha after the ghost story I told her last night. What an absolute riot you guys all are. Miriam finishes the last of the pages and starts stacking them neatly in the box. I stand up and dust myself off, mood much better now. Let's get going, I'm starving. Miriam extends a paw up from her seated position, and I waddle over to help her up. It takes a bit of a tug, but it's easy enough. I never fully understood how strong she is, able to lift so much on her legs. Not that she's big like Dale, just pretty well built. Muscular. Let's get going, Bronson. We gather Ernesto from the maintenance shed and make our ways back up the path. We make it back to Wickenburg's cabin without incident, joining the others in the living room. Everyone is back on the couches and half asleep. How about we just turn in for the night? I'm about to pass out. How long have we been up for? I don't even want to think about that. No way, we gotta eat first. I'm starving. Dale's right. I don't think that we should sleep without eating, especially if we got the place to ourselves for one night. What did you bring? A bit of everything, really. Duke walks over to the ice chest, popping the lid open. Cans and bottles of different kinds of beers stick through the ice. The weasel passes out bottles to everyone but Trisha. And don't forget all the weed that I have on me. Whoa, you guys like to party. Nah, you don't know the half of it. I'm fine with some beer, but I'm not mixing it with pot. More for us, then. I'm not sure that I want any of either. I'm not your mother, so I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I know weed is kinda scary, but you can have some beer. Don't your parents drink? Yeah, it's not like I'm not around it, but everyone else is doing it also is making me feel kind of uncomfortable. We drink all the time in Echo and you've never seemed to mind then. You guys haven't ever drank around me before. I don't think that you guys invited me to those hangouts. Oh. Try some Hendrix. It'll help you relax. Dale? He's never pressured anyone into doing, well, anything before. I guess he's thinking that it's really not a big deal. If you can drink, When you're 21, that means that it ain't that bad for you. Anyways, it's not like we're gonna be driving anywhere. Not tonight, at least. I guess if we don't have anywhere to go, it won't be that bad. But just one. Everyone cheers, raising their bottles in celebration. Let's get this started. The Duke is out front and getting the fire pit ready. He gave his keys to Miriam and Ernesto to get the weed from the trunk, those two the least afraid to go down and grab it. Dale is getting the hot dogs and veggie dogs out for us to grill. Trisha and Janice are talking to each other on one of the couches. Both have a bottle in paw. I take a seat next to Janice, putting an arm around her shoulder. What are you ladies up to? I was telling Jan about this old parlor game that I found in my house the other day. It looked pretty spooky, but I was able to research about it at the school library and figured out that it was just like playing cards. The school library is open during the summer? Yeah, it serves as the general library after the old one burnt down. I might have known if I had ever bothered to go inside. What's the game? Trisha goes through one of her bags and takes out a small metal box. It's a tarot deck. Hey, I think that I heard about that before. Some of the comics me and Dill used to get out to as kids talked about it. I think that my daddy said that they were witchcraft. Should we be playing around with that kind of stuff? Well, the way that I see it, we're actually breaking the law by drinking this beer here, so... Is it really any worse? God doesn't just care about the law, though. He cares about how you sin. Well, I'm not planning on doing any magic with him. Are you? I guess not. Me neither. So let's open them. Trisha takes the lid off of the metal tin. Inside, there is a rectangular shape wrapped in an expensive-looking silk. The sheep unwraps the bundle gently, finding a stack of tall cards with bizarre and intricate backgrounds on them. Oh wow, they're so pretty. It's kinda creepy, yeah? Each card has its edges frayed and dirty, like they were handled a lot. I think that it's pretty neat, like the pulp comics my dad had. What do you do with them? Well, there's a lot of different ways to play. If you use the whole deck, it's pretty much like playing cards, like we have today, just with different names and symbols. Trisha turns the deck over, revealing a card named Ace of Swords. See, it's basically just an ace of clubs and a regular deck. The sheep starts going through the deck, removing most of the cards. There's a lot of face cards, though, that have a name and number. They all have meanings, but the face cards are supposed to mean something more. I didn't figure out how to play it all the way, but I got most of the meanings. Why don't we play a short game? Just pick one card. You said that you weren't going to do any witchcraft, but divination certainly sounds like witchcraft to me. Well, I'm more or less just describing what the card means, really. You just picking at random keeps the spirit of the game. I don't know. Come on, Jan, it'll be fun. Okay, what do I do? Trisha finishes going through the stack of cards, returning the extra to the tin. First I shuffle, then deal 6 cards face down. You'll pick one at random, then I'll tell you what it means. Janice nods as Trisha starts to shuffle the deck. Hey, you're turning some of them upside down while you do that. Depending on the orientation that you draw it, the meaning changes. Whoa, that's pretty cool. Okay, it's all ready. Trisha deals 6 cards face down. That one. Janice points towards the leftmost card. Trisha flips it over, revealing an upside-down picture of an otter sitting on a crescent moon. Oh. What's that say? The moon? What's it mean? Well, the upside-down moon has a couple of meanings. You might be anxious or afraid about your choices or events in your life. About how you might be holding things deep inside, deep where no one, not even you, can feel or see them. Even seeing it like this can be confusing or disturbing. Janice slaps the card out of Trisha's paw. I knew that I shouldn't have done this devil crap. I should have listened to my daddy. I'm sorry, Chip. I bend down to grab the card from Trisha. Don't be. If she always listened to her daddy, she wouldn't be dating me. I take a long sip of the bottle, finishing off the rest of my beer. I stand up to get more from the cooler. You want another one? Trisha takes a moment to look at her beer bottle and thinks. She chugs the rest of it in a few seconds. Yeah, why not? I fish around the ice for more, the cold feeling good in my paws. I open one with the bottle opener that's placed nearby and bring it back to Trisha. What about yours? I break the seal with my sharp tooth, tossing the cap aside. How cute. She brings a paw to her maw as she says it, cheeks going red under her white fur. Mine matches hers from the alcohol, as I take a few drinks from a freshly opened bottle. How about it? I want to play. Okay. Trisha fumbles with the cards, giving them a good shuffle after a few seconds of stumbling. Let's play a different version. The sheep deals 6 cards again, this time all with the artwork showing instead. Whoa, they're all facing forward this time. How crazy. Choose your fate, Chip. I'll explain to you what it means. So we finally get to the choosing part, but we know that we're going to go with the Empress card. The Empress. If I remember correctly, it represents femininity, more precisely, creative expression and sensuality. About living with positive aspects of the feminine side. Sounds like that doesn't exactly fit me. Sometimes it's not about changing who you are, but finding a balance on the other side. Do you feel like you've been balanced lately, Chip? I scratched my paw on instinct. I think so. I've been thinking about where I sit with, well, everything lately. Well, as long as you're keeping yourself happy with the balance. I'm not sure if I really have been considering anyone else's point of view. Hey, lazy asses, everything is ready out here. Dale practically leaps from the kitchen, hustling over with the food. Oh, that was fun. Thanks for playing, Chip. Yeah, that was fun. Trisha puts away the cards, wrapping them in their silk confines and back into the tin. Outside, Duke has lit a raging bonfire in the stone pit. Its warmth washes over me, the light snipping away at the darkness of the night. Everything is ready to start cooking, and we're ready to get token. Ernesto drops off a bag of reefers on a chair. Feel free to use everything in there. I have a second bag for later, when we gotta be more discreet. Everyone except for Trisha and Miriam takes a blunt. Duke and Ernesto pull out their lighters for everyone. I take a deep drag on mine, holding the smoke in to swirl around in my lungs for a few seconds. I exhale through my nose, watching the white smoke mix and swirl with the ash from the bonfire. Dale sets up a table with hot dog buns and condiments, while Ernesto and Duke drag the ice chest out from Wickenburg's cabin. I help bring out some of the chairs, and before long we're sitting together in the heat of the fire, buzzed, faded, and full from delicious food. Everything said and done, today really was perfect in the end. A few hours pass and the bonfire starts to die down. Once it gets too cold, we smother it with the nearby hose hookup and retreat back into Wickenburg's cabin. I think I'm gonna pass out. We should all probably head to bed soon. No fair, we haven't played any games yet. We did that tarot reading earlier. That doesn't count. It was only a few of us. Well, what do you have in mind? I'm not sure. You guys never really invited me to stuff like this. Well, what's some of the stuff that you guys would do when you would hang out? It was all shitty excuses to drink or get high, but we're all pretty messed up already. There was one that we used to play, Spin the Bottle. That sounds like fun. Yeah, when we were in middle school, I think. It's a bit different, now that we're not kids anymore. And Jen and I are dating. Ooh, you whores. Someone cut her off next time. You guys are kind of whores. Why don't we make it more interesting then? And how will we do that? Well, it's already kinda spicy cause Janice and Chip are together. So if they join in and get picked, it'll be a bit wilder. So first rule, they have to play to keep things interesting. Janice looks at me and smiles. We don't have to do it if you don't want to, babe. You know, it might be a bit of a hoot that way. Let's hear the other rules. And second, and probably the most important rule, is we kiss whoever the bottle lands on, no redudes or the closest person of the opposite sex. What? Are you some kind of pervert? I've been trying to tell you the wolf's a fag. Sounds like fun. Jan? I'm with Janice. We might get to see two big, strong boys kiss. And what's a little lipstick between friends if it lands on us? What's your angle here, wolf? Don't you want to see two babes make out? Well, yeah. But I don't want to kiss a dude. Or see two dudes kissing. And that's what makes it interesting. They're not gonna do it if we don't involve ourselves. That's for sure. So, why not take a gamble? Live on the edge a little. I'm in. If Chip's in, of course. I'm not sure. Sounds worth the risk to me. Oh, what the hell? I do like to gamble. I guess if everyone else wants to. Fuck. If it's just me saying no, I'll do it then. Alright, it's settled. Ernesto downs the beer bottle in his paw, whipping his muzzle in exaggeration after it's empty. Let's get in a circle then. We maneuver onto an open space on the floor, sitting cross-legged in a circle formation. Who's gonna go first? I got this. Ernesto spins the bottle as fast as he can, the container wobbling and howling from its opening. The bottle begins to slow, wobbling less and less, and it creaks along the floorboards. Before coming to a dead stop, Tip unequivocally pointing at Dale. The otter's face turns as red as Ernesto's fur, the wolf's eyebrows practically jumping off his face. Oh my god, I knew that it was gonna be worth it. Wait. A deal's a deal, bub. Ernesto leans over the circle, putting a paw down to steady himself as his muzzle meets Dale's. My whiskers twitch as I see theirs rub against each other as our mouths meet. Oh god, I knew that I was gonna get stuck with something like this. Janice and Trisha are both watching, fully enraptured. I take a long swig of my beer. Ernesto pulls away, returning to his seat. That wasn't so bad, was it, Nutria? Yeah, not that bad. Dale twitches his tail. Hopefully we get to see some chicks making out to make up for it. Who's next? Duke spins the bottle without waiting for anyone to speak up. I just want this over with. The bottle starts to slow down much faster this time. It stabilizes more and more, barely inching its way past me and landing on Janice. You're not gonna beat my ass for kissing your girl, Chip. Janice interrupts him, leaning across me to get to the weasel seated on the other side of me. They kiss deeply, right in front of my face for a few seconds, their muzzles parting for some tongue action. They pull away just as my tail starts to thump. He better not. We both agreed to play. Oh shit, dude. I see why you put up with her crazy ass. Janice flicks him on the nose as a weasel buckles under the light, albeit sharp pain. Me next. Trisha takes the bottle in her paws and spins it against the floorboards. The bottle spins for a few seconds, eventually landing on Miriam. Alright, chicks and a cougar show. You're being specious again, Duke. Well, at least I got to see the two big guys make out for a bit. Miriam finishes her beer as Trisha gently leans forwards in the circle. The Gilla leans in on both of her paws, bracing herself against Trisha's softer face. The two meet, Moss turning sideways and opening to accommodate the size difference. Oh wow, that's pretty hot. Hell yeah. The pair makes out for another half minute. It's hard to look away fully. Who's next? Chip. He hasn't got to kiss anyone yet. My paw reaches for the bottle, the cuts and bruises on my webbing in full view. Go ahead, babe. I spin it as fast as I can, not wanting to look like I made it land on anyone in particular. My eyes are glued to the tip as it spins ever slower on the floor. I reach for my beer, but it's long empty. The bottle starts to slow, still fully centered on the circle, not leaning any which way. until it is on its final breath, its movement coming to an end, until the lance directly pointed at Miriam. Ooh. You know, it's pretty crazy how many years it's been since we've been in this exact situation. Miriam leans over to me, and I meet her halfway, over the circle. Her lips are different from mammals, and it's a sensation that I haven't ever gotten used to. And then the lights cut out, sending the room into total darkness. Ah! A few screams ring out in the darkness. What the fuck? We all scramble on the floor, tripping over each other in the dark as we try to get to our feet. Ouch! Shit, someone stepped on my tail. Everybody calm down. I have a lantern on my belt. We stop panicking for a moment as the sound of Ernesto's belt rings in the darkness. Hurry up! Ernesto flicks his lantern on, filling the cabin with just enough light for us to see each other. Did someone hit the lights? We were all sitting down here. There's no way. Somebody should check the breakers. What if we're not alone? Is there any other staff? Maybe the lights are on a timer. It's past midnight, isn't it? Before anything else, let's grab more flashlights and lanterns. We let them all together on one of the tables. We each take a lantern or a flashlight from the pile. I'm going to go check on the breakers. They should be on the outside of this building. If not, it'll be tied down next to either the maintenance shed or the assembly hall. Hey, don't go out there by yourself. What if someone's out there? We should be alone up here. Besides, he'll be fine on his own. No way. Enough weird shit has happened today. We're not sending someone by themselves. But it's literally my job. But something strange is happening. We don't know that for sure. What are you talking about? There was something wrong in that road, Trisha. You yourself said it. It doesn't make sense how we got so lost with how big this mountain range is. But we don't know that we just didn't get lost. Nothing bad has happened to us. No one is injured or missing. This could have just been the breakers tripping, which I need to go check still. But it's literally my job. But something strange is happening. We don't know that for sure. What are you talking about? There was something wrong with the road, Trisha. You said it yourself. It doesn't make sense how we got so lost with how big this mountain range is. But we don't know that we just didn't get lost. Nothing bad has happened to us. No one is injured or missing. This could just been the breakers tripping, which I need to go check still. Why would the breakers trip? We barely have anyone here, and we weren't running extra equipment. Even the other buildings with electricity are all currently off. Well, we won't know unless we check. Duke, go with them. If there's someone out there, they won't think about hurting the strongest two guys we have. Me and Chip are pretty strong. And that is why you're staying here, to protect us ladies. Miriam rolls her eyes. Oh, okay. Janice grabs my arm, holding me tight. I'm scared, Chip. We'll be right back. Let's go, Weasel. Ernesto and Duke head out through the front door, closing it behind them. I'm gonna go find the light switch. The sheep walks around the perimeter of the room with a flashlight for a bit, stumbling around for the switch. Here it is. The switch is still on. Something outside of this room must have caused the power to go out. Okay, I am definitely less freaked out now. I still don't like this. Let's just wait for them to get back. Should we grab some weapons? There's probably a hunting rifle by the looks of it. You can shoot, right, Chip? Definitely, but I don't think that we need to pull out a gun just yet. There could be somebody out there. You should get it, Chip. We don't know that for sure, Jan. Let's just wait for Ernesto and Duke to get back. Should we try to find the gun just in case we need it? Let's not go through Henry's things while he's not here. Some time goes by without much talking, the wait for Ernesto and Duke making us too anxious for much else. Maybe you should go looking for them. Maybe we should go look for them? Yeah, I'm starting to get worried. We should stay here like we agreed upon. But I'm still worried about them. That's fine. We just need to stay calm in case... Miriam pauses. In case what, Miriam? In case we're all gonna die here? There is an awkward pause between the two. I'm sorry. I'm just scared. No need to apologize, Jan. Things are tense right now. The front door opens with a loud creak. Ah! Ernesto and Duke walk in through the door. What's wrong? You just scared her is all. I take it no luck on the power? No, sorry. We found the breakers on at the assembly hall, and they were tripped. But resetting them didn't seem to bring the power back. There must be a problem with the power lines along the mountain. Shit, do you think that they'll close us down? Do we need power to cook? It might be annoying, but I'll be able to get everything going without it. Nothing perishable either. There's a fridge for the medicine that needs to be kept cold in the nurse's station, but it has its own generator. The nurse will bring the medicine itself when she gets here, so it will be fine until then. There's enough fuel to keep the generators going for over a month. It should be taken care of before the kids arrive if it's a downed power line. Let's head to bed. My buzz is long gone. It's gonna take longer to get everything done without electricity too. I want to stay here, together with everyone. I have a feeling that if Henry catches us co-editing it up, he's gonna flip. He's already threatened us with no pay once. I don't want to add on to that. Duke's right. Well, what if we stay here and the boys go to their cabin? There is only one door for the staff cabins, and they lock. The doors here don't lock? There's more than one? There's 3, yeah. Only the master key locks and unlocks the doors here. If we get separated, it could be really bad. I don't think that it even unlocks all the doors here. I'm pretty sure only Henry has the key to his room too. If you're that scared, we can take some furniture from here and barricade the door in addition to locking it. Okay. Chip, I love you. I love you too, babe. The staff cabins are less than 200 feet away from each other. Just holler or we'll come running and we'll be there. We gather our luggage and head outside. We agree to meet back at the mess hall when the sun is up and head our separate ways to the staff cabins. Ernesto unlocks the door and we head inside. Inside is dusty but clean. A table with 2 chairs, a couch, and lockers make a small living room. 2 sets of 2 double beds line up against the opposite walls, make up the bedroom in the single-room cabin. Not as much privacy that I was hoping for, especially seeing as we're all staff and all. At least it isn't bunk beds. Hopefully the staff showers and restrooms are better. We settle in, unpacking our things and choosing a bed. Ugh, I'm so beat. Been up almost 20 hours at this point and I drove all day. The dude takes off his shirt, practically belly flopping onto his bed immediately after. Ernesto strips down to his underwear and sits on his bed. We should probably take a shower. But it's gonna smell like otter anyway, so it's not gonna help much. Hey! Don't bother. Plus, he's probably right anyways. I take off my shirt, too tired to undo my shorts. Dale looks around, a warm blush visible through his fur. He takes off his shirt and pants, but quickly pulls on a red tank top. Aren't you hot? I just, feel more comfortable with it on. Dale manages to get underneath his blanket before rolling onto his stomach. I turn off a lantern from the table, the room falling into darkness, and take off my shorts then. Easier to rearrange myself when no one's looking. I'll just sleep like this. It's just us guys here anyways. I'm gonna knock out now. Hope this hangover isn't too bad. I hear them turning in their beds as their sheets ruffle. It's quiet now and I feel alone. My sleep is deep and untroubled, practically passing out the moment that my head hits the pillow. I didn't dream of anything. Light filters through the windows as the sound of Ernesto rummaging through his bags wakes me up. Wake up, Nutria. We have to get the day going. My paws grab my head, thankful that the hangover isn't as bad as it could have been. Dale is awake too, already changed for the day. Can you get Duke up, Chip? I'm afraid that he's in a snap if he's feeling torn up from last night still. I get up out of bed and walk over to Duke's bed, the weasel snoring peacefully in his sleep. Hey, bud. It's time to get up. I move a paw to gently tap him on the shoulder. What? Duke's head fur is frazzled and smashed from being slept on, his face contorted in deep exhaustion still. We gotta get going for the day. Still wanna get paid, don't you? Duke grumbles, sitting up on his elbows. He looks around the room a few times, eyeing me and Ernesto. Let's get going then. The weasel stumbles out of his bed and grabs a pile of his clothes from his bag, just as Ernesto steps towards the door with his clothes. Hey, I was gonna go shower. Well, so was I. Duke snaps towards Dale. Dale. Dale awkwardly turns towards the weasel. You showered already, yeah? Dale nods. Are there separate stalls or is it just as open as this? There are 4 shower heads around a central drain, so not really any privacy at all. Tsk. I don't want to see your wolf, so wait for me to finish. Why? You afraid that you'll like what you see? Why Nope. We are not fighting this early in the morning. Just go separately. Ernesto, just wait here with me and Dale. It's not worth it. I don't think that we should go alone anywhere still. Please, it's the morning. Do you think anyone is still gonna be fucking with us? It was the middle of the afternoon when that weird shit up in the mountains started. Let's split up in pairs now and meet at the mess hall for breakfast with everyone else after. Sounds like a plan. I'll go with you, Ernesto. Anything to stop you two from fighting like children. I do my best to roll my eyes as I grab my clothes from my bags. I'm almost positive that neither of them notice. Whoever I'm going with takes a shower first. I gotta make it to the mess hall to start cooking. Shouldn't be more than 10 minutes. Duke and Dale head out towards the showers. I pull one of my bags up and sit on my bed and start rummaging through it for a pair of clean clothes. Ernesto takes a seat on my bed next to me, his tail wagging behind us. Hi? His face is bright and happy, a grin spread wide. The wolf stands up from the bed before I can respond, tail wagging behind him. So, you excited to start actually working today? Yeah, I want to do something else than just move heavy boxes and stuffy sheds. I bet. Probably won't musk up the place as much if you're in the water, huh? Do I smell that bad to you? Ernesto smiles deeply again, moving to stand in front of me. You couldn't smell bad to me if you wanted to, Nutria. And how's that? Your otter musk practically smells like vanilla to most wolves. What? He licks his lips. Sweet and sultry. You and the other otter are practically irresistible. What's going on? Why are you acting like a puff? Ernesto raises his eyebrows at me. I don't know why you think that I'm into you or even okay with this. Maybe I was wrong about you. Back at the gas station, I thought... Is that why you wanted me to ride with you? He doesn't respond. Well, how about the other otter? Dale's not... If he's not, then why are you so protective of him? It was one of the other things that made it seem like you were. Like, he was your man. What the fuck? You don't gotta lie to me, Otter. I can see how you look at me and him, and even the weasel sometimes. Ernesto walks up to me, gently placing his knee on my groin. Shit. I'm hard. And I can feel how hard I make you. My brain isn't working right now. This is so... confusing. But Dale's not. I guess that means you are. The wolf nuzzles into my neck, lapping softly with his tongue. Fuck. It feels good. Stop. I'm with Janice. The wolf retracts his tongue, but keeps his maw there, breathing in deeply. So, you do want me if you could have me. His voice is deep and quiet. I think this is a misunderstanding. But it doesn't matter. I won't cheat on Janice. You really haven't been with a man before, have you? No, I haven't. That's sad to hear, Nutria. We spend a few more awkward moments in silence together. Come on, Otter, let's head to the showers. We make it to the building without much conversation. There's no sign of Duke or Dale, or any of the ladies, luckily enough. Walking inside, we're met with a hallway with a few cubicles of clean towels and bars of soap. Ernesto takes a towel, a bar of soap, and strips off his underwear, leaving it in front of a cubicle. I take off my pair and grab a towel. We head into the main shower room. Tiled floors and walls line the building wall to wall on the short end. The women's showers are separated by a tall tiled wall in the center. There is a gap between the ceiling and the wall, but it's pretty impractical if someone wanted to peep. We hang our towels on a rack and make our way to the faucet. 4 shower heads sit in the center of the room, front of the central structure. We make our way under the furthest faucet and turn it on, cool water soaking down my fur. Ernesto takes a shower head directly next to me and turns it on, the water flooding his fur down instantly. He lathers himself with a bar of soap and starts scrubbing, leaving the bar on the faucet. I grab it and start to work through my thick fur. It's not strong enough to easily cut through my oily fur. I should have asked Dale if he had any otter soap. We shower without any real conversation, though I do catch Ernesto catching a few peeks at my groin and butt a few times. It's kind of nice in a way, not having to worry about it. Not having to worry about my lingering eyes or thoughts. I don't want to give the wolf the wrong idea. So I make sure to calm down and focus on what I need to do, which is taking much longer than I'd like. I have to stop and scrub really hard to actually get clean. Ernesto's done before I can even start on my back or lower legs. He walks over to the wall dryer, then sighs when he remembers that there is no power. I turn around to focus on finishing, doing my best not to get distracted by him, until I feel him flush against me, muzzle on my shoulders. His paws are full on the soap, and he starts massaging my shoulders, working his way down my back. What are you doing? He whistles, making his way up to my upper back. I'm with Jan. I know. I'm just helping you get clean, so we can get back to your girlfriend. I see. I don't say much else as he gets my lower back. He stops right above my cheeks, right before I'm about to tell him to stop, but moves on down past my thighs, towards my lower legs. What do you... I'm just getting where you haven't yet, is all. How did you... Been watching you pretty closely, Nutria. I let him finish up without saying anything. It feels... natural. We finish up after a while. Once I'm all done, we shut the water off, and the wolf heads to a far corner to shake out his fur like a dog. I'm practically dry by the time that I get to my towel. Even with my oil stripped, it doesn't take too long for my otter fur to dry. Ernesto is practically wringing his fur out without the use of a dryer. He looks pretty funny like that. You want to help wring me out, Nutria? I consider it for a few seconds. I would, but I'd smell like wet dog the rest of the day. And I'm pretty sure Janice would kill me. Ernesto smiles deep. Ernesto dries off as best as he can after a few minutes, and we make it to the entrance hallway. He grabs another towel and dries himself a bit more. We get dressed and head back to the staff cabin to drop off our towels and dirty clothes before heading back to the mess hall together. We make it to the mess hall without any more conversation. Dale and Janice are behind the counter when we arrive, the two preparing breakfast for everyone else. Things are a bit slow going without power, but the two manage so well that I don't feel the need to help out. Trisha and Miriam are at the table closest to the counter kitchen, with Duke next to them. There is more than enough room for everyone at the same table. We take a seat next to everyone else, joining the larger group. How'd you boys sleep? Wasn't too bad. Except for the otter smell. We all kinda passed out. Long day and all. Must have been nice. Janice wanted to get comfortable, so we had to barricade the doors all. But it took an hour until she was happy with it. It wasn't that hard. She didn't make you carry the heaviest things, or take it all down in the morning. That sounds dangerous if there was a fire. How early did you all get up? We didn't see or hear any of y'all this morning when we were getting ready. We talked to Dale. The three of us made it to the showers about the same time that he did. I'm surprised that you guys let Dale go by himself. He went without telling any of us. Well, it's been light for a couple of hours now, so I'm kind of surprised that it took him this long to start helping Jen out. Shouldn't Henry be back by now then? What do you mean? Well, he said that he wasn't gonna drive back last night. It was too dark. If he was so focused on being here and making sure that everything was ready, don't you think that him and the nurse would have been back as soon as possible? It's even more light in the city earlier too. The mountains hide a lot of the sun from hitting us early sunset and late sunrise. Do you guys think that they're okay? Maybe the road is still weird. If anyone knows a way up and down the mountain, it will be him. There must be something weird then. Do you mean like his car or the mountain? Breakfast is served. Dale drops a large platter of food in the center of the table. The conversation stops, everyone too tired and slightly hungover to resist the hearty breakfast. Enjoy, everyone. Janice brings plates and utensils and we all grab bits of food. They even remember to cook extra portions of veggies for Trisha. Muchas gracias. Ernesto grabs an extra large helping of sausage. How'd you guys get meat with the fridges down? Dale interrupts himself with a large bite. He continues talking with his mouth full. Freezer that. More munching sounds. And? The rest of his words are unintelligible. There's a small gas-powered freezer. Keeps everything cool without needing electricity. I'm pretty sure that it's a backup. Henry must have turned it on a few days ago when he arrived and placed a fair bit of perishables in it. Should we save it for the campers? There's not enough room to feed all of them with no electricity from it. If it doesn't get fixed, that will be the least of our worries. Dale swallows with a loud gulp. There is enough non-perishables to last all of them till the end, though it sure will get bland if that's what everyone has to eat the whole time. Maybe we can throw a giant barbecue if the rest of the meat starts to go bad. Have another party like last night. Trisha grabs her head, moaning in a clearly exaggerated manner. Oh, I don't want to think about last night. My head is still pounding. Everyone laughs. We're just trying to get you ready for university life. Private school kids like to party hard. You didn't drink that much, Trisha. But I haven't drank before. She slaps down her forehead on the table, narrowly missing her plate. Trisha lets out a pathetic whine. Miriam pats her back a few times while Janice shakes her head in negative a few times. This food is so fucking good, Janice. Duke says it as he takes a large bite of bacon. Oh, okay, wow. She takes a second to process the compliment. Thank you. You two are really good cooks, super used to each other in the kitchen too. You guys cook a lot together usually? All the time. Dale stuffs his face with another bite of food. You two live together? Oh gosh, no. We work at the town's local diner. My father owns it, and he's how we got in contact to work here. How long have you two worked there? Practically my whole life, as soon as I was old enough to not burn myself on the stove. But I started cooking my second year of high school. I started my second year of high school too, a few years after Dale. Needed some extra money to help pay for my cheerleading outfit, and the extra cash has been nice. You guys are going to school over in Echo? Is there a community college there? Nah, we're taking some time to work. Or hopefully find something better. Aw, I thought you liked working with me, Jan. Dale puts on a faux pouty face. I do like working with you, big guy, but if I have to stare at your greasy muzzle my whole life in that hot kitchen, I'll lose my marbles. I'm going to school over in Peyton. It's a small city nearby, but it has more amenities than Old Echo. I'll be starting at a private school the next state over, in the City of Angels. It's nice to see the young folks planning out their lives. You're like 3 years older than us, dude. But I am older, so that's what counts. He sticks his tongue out through his muzzle. Ha 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 ha. We eat the rest of our food in relative peace. We all decide to help with the dishes, and the mass of bodies helps the task go by quickly. So, what's the plan for today? We're still on track to get everything done in time, and we can stick together like last night. Me and Dale will stay here. We have a few things to check on at Wickenburg's cabin first, though. Duke is gonna help me out today. I'm back with Ernesto at our 2 sheds. I'll have enough time to finish near the boathouse. I didn't get a chance to check out the boathouse last night, but there isn't a lot on my list. Most of my duties are paws on with the kids. It should be easy with the two that I'm going with for help. Sounds like a plan. We'll meet back here around 1 p.m. for lunch. Sounds good. We start to head out of the building. Chip, can we talk? Janice is still seated, everyone else almost at the door already. Adele turns back from the doorframe and our eyes meet. I tilt my head quickly and give him a smile. Dale frowns but continues the rest of the way outside. What's up, Jan? She's quieter than usual, more reserved. She's gripping her upper arm with one paw, barely looking at me. Are things all right, Bronson? What do you mean? I just feel like I might be losing you. Is this about... No. I think... I don't know anymore. Is this about last night? Of course not. It was just a game, like when we were kids. I always did like it when I landed on you, Jan. Her face softens. I like that a lot too. I take her paws in mine over the table. Then what is it? She takes a while to respond. It feels like you're being pulled away from me. Tears start to form in her eyes. Like someone has you on strings and just keeps tugging and tugging. My skin goes cold. I think I know what you mean. Jan, I love you. I always will. I believe you, Bronson. I would never leave you on purpose like that. For no reason. For nothing. I believe that too. My voice goes very quiet. Plans together. After this is all done too. I want that real bad, Chip. Then, what can I do? Maybe it's just fate. How can I fix this? Just wait for me. She takes her paws from mine and walks towards the door. No matter what happens. She wipes the tears now falling down her face. I will always love you, Bronson. And the coyote walks outside. I take a few seconds to gather myself before joining the others. Our full group splits up from there, each heading to our respective sites to start work. I head out the door following behind Ernesto and Miriam. We walk our way to the dual sheds as a group. Being with Ernesto and Miriam is nice though, especially after all the craziness of the last day. The pair really feels like they have control of the group, or pretend to. I definitely felt safer with someone as level-headed as Miriam. And Ernesto looks pretty capable if things went sideways. What's the plan for today? Well, Chip and I have finished everything that I need to do before the counselors arrive, so I'm free to help. I only need a few more things to do in my shed, but the bulk of the rest is outside. I need to walk around to the buildings and make sure everything is okay. Any maintenance, any trash. Just checks like that. Checking out the camper and counselor cabins is the biggest priority, but it's something that I want to get done during the day. We might be able to check on the power situation too, if any of the lines are down. What about you, Chip? It won't be a lot for me. I just need to head to the boathouse and check on the supplies, make sure everything is in there. A lot of my work will be coordinating with the counselors, so I'm free to help out. Let's stick with Ernesto for right now then. I want to get paid for all this hassle. Yeah. Do you think everything is going to be okay? With Henry and the counselors and the kids? We have to believe it will be. But we know something is wrong with the mountain. We can't do anything about that right now. I don't feel right, letting others make it up here. Do you need the money, Ernesto? I think that we just need to do what we're told for now. I actually need it for my scholarship. Without the summer job, I'll have to transfer back to... for my final year instead of staying. Shit, I'm sorry. No worries, Nutria. Let's just get started, yeah? Then maybe we can figure out how to do the right thing. Okay, let's get going then. Miriam and I follow Ernesto around the various buildings, peeking our heads in and helping clean out any trash or vegetation that found its way inside. It wasn't difficult work, but it was time-consuming, and I was starting to work up a sweat from the hot day. It was easier to keep up with the pair because of my smaller frame. It helped me never get volunteered to lift anything heavy at the very least. We end up back at the sheds a few hours later. That wasn't so bad. Let me lock up before we can head to the mess hall for lunch. I just need a bit to fix up my shed. I shouldn't be more than 30 minutes. Let us help you in there so that we can make it faster. No need, Nutria. Most of it is organizing, and I want to do it my way. Plus, you look pretty beat up after helping today. Let's just relax outside and enjoy the shade, Bronson. Okay. Ernesto smiles before unlocking his shed and walking inside, leaving Miriam and me outside on the summer day. Miriam shrugs, shaking the door of her shed and sitting on the grassy floor next to its entrance. She pats the ground next to her with a clawed paw. I sit down beside her, the grass and dirt crunching softly on the dry day against my shorts in the process. We gotta get you some water, Bronson. You look like you're gonna melt. I should be able to make it 30 more minutes. Miriam closes her eyes, resting her head against the shed wall. At least it's cool in here in the shade. Good place to unwind and relax. I copy what she's doing, closing my eyes and relaxing in the shade. A soft breeze travels through the camp, leaves rustling and animals chirp, lulling me into a sense of calm. How have things been in Echo since I left? Honestly, things haven't really been the same since you left. Oh, really? Yeah, we used to be closer, and I know school has a lot to do with it. But it hasn't been easy to move on after we lost a couple of people in the war, to the drafts. Oh, Chip. My eyes start to water. It was just easier with you, Miriam. You held things together, a real natural-born leader. I know you wanted to enlist, Bronson. I still do. Well, what's keeping you? Certainly not my ma. Is it Janice? I bring my knees up to my chest. Mostly. Mostly? Yeah, mostly. And what else is keeping you there? The promise that I made to you before you left. That I wouldn't go. That I would stay and make Echo a better place. With Jan and Duke and help out Dale. 'Cause it's important. That dust bowl of a town. We just gotta keep all the pieces in place, Bronson. Look what that's gotten us. It's gotten us here. Miriam gently places her tail on mine, the two sitting together on the grass behind us. Tell me, Bronson, do you regret staying in Echo all this time? Do you, Chip? Wouldn't change a thing for the world. Miriam smiles, ruffling my hair a few times with her larger paw. I don't stop her. I enjoy the weight and coolness of my tail just a bit longer. Well, how's school been, Miriam? We were looking forward to seeing you in a bit more during the summer and stuff, so I haven't really gotten a chance to ask. It's been good. I've been meeting new people and keeping on top of my classes. I had wanted to try out for the softball team this year, but practice was going to run into a seminar class that I had to attend. Sounds really busy. It's busier than Echo, that's for sure. Do you like it more out there? It's different. I don't know if I like my home more or if it's just what I prefer in general, but I like the small vibe more at the very least. I want to do everything that I can for everyone in town, and this is part of it. How's that going to work out more? I get a good education, and I can head back and help everyone out more. The county is the only real power in Echo. The way things are and they don't do enough good. I can be the change, help everyone sticking it out. I guess that makes sense. I take a second to breathe deeply, a tear rolling down one of my cheeks. It's funny, Miriam. I thought you just abandoned us. Miriam puts one of her arms around my shoulder. I lean into the embrace. So many of them haven't come back, and Paul has been begging me to join, and without you here, it was... I'm sorry, Chip. I didn't know. She's crying now, too. It was like you took your own way out. I was thinking, always angry, thinking that it was so unfair because we were stuck there. I'm not smart enough to go to school. Jan and Dale don't want out the same way that I do. It was just all so... suffocating. Miriam curls her tail around mine. I'll be back, Bronson. And I'll help the town. There'll be options for your thick head too. For good, honest labor. Something to help the rest of the town out too. We can all stay in Echo and build it better. I like that. You're not still thinking about going, are you? I don't really know anymore. I feel like I'm supposed to. Like it's my duty. I would have been drafted if I was just a little older, like everyone else. Not everyone. Dale didn't get picked. But almost everyone else that we know did. My pa was in the Pacific Theater. He says that it's only fair that it's my turn. Seeing most of my brothers go to, only one was drafted. The rest signed up. A lot of my siblings got drafted too. Then, why did you leave? You know how hard it is. I left so no one else felt like they needed to go. So that we can build a life in Echo. As a community. A real one. My heart feels like it's stopping. We're not kids or teenagers anymore, Bronson. I don't need to be there for you all the time. Miriam. I want you here with me, though. She doesn't respond. Shit, was that too much? Thanks, Miriam. Of course, Bronson. We continue to sit in silence after the awkward interaction. I'll have to apologize to her later. It wasn't fair and... I care about her too much to leave it like that. More time goes by as we settle into the silence. What are we doing, Chip? I don't know. We just didn't know what to say. Were you always that awkward, Bronson? No. A lot has been on my mind recently, though. Anything you want to talk about? I don't think that would help right now. It always helps to talk about it. I can't really share any details. It's, personal. Then give me the outline of it. I'll see what I can do. How much should I tell her? Fine. Well, I did something bad. Something that I should have told somebody about. Oh God, you didn't cheat on Janice, did you? I almost slip and tell her of course not. Janice was there. No, nothing like that. I wouldn't do that to her. Good. I wouldn't want to see what she'd do if you did. Well, I didn't tell no one. And I think that I'm a bad person for doing it. Like what? I could have fixed it, but just didn't. And now I'm not sure what to do. Would telling anyone have made it better? No. It was already finished by then. Then I don't think it matters. How can I be sure? Was it so bad that you're not? Yes. No. That's good, because even if it was, then maybe you did the right thing, as long as no one else is going to keep getting hurt. No, it's all done and accounted for. No one did care, that's true. Then it's over. You know what I've heard about Echo? What have you heard? That it needs secrets. The back of my neck crawls as a pounding in my head starts to hit against my forehead. There's simply nothing else that we can do about it, so stop worrying and start living with everyone else. Yeah, everyone else gets to live. Is it really okay to look at everything so black and white? She takes a few seconds to respond. Sometimes it's all that we have. What do I have left? Miriam stands up and extends a paw to me. Come on, it's almost time to go. I take her paw and she helps me up, just as Ernesto exits his shed. Just finished up. Let's get going, yeah? The wolf looks between the two of us. Everything okay? Everything is perfect. Ernesto shrugs his shoulders. Alright, back to the mess hall. We follow after the wolf, the summer sun beating down on us as we make the short hike down the hills. Thanks for waiting for me, guys. I should be done except for a sweep later on. Shame that we couldn't find anything wrong with the power. Nothing that I can do about it anyways. It must be further along than I thought. Will you be okay with work, Chip? Yeah, I just need to head to the boathouse after lunch. Maybe we can all go and relax by the lake for a bit if everyone else is done too. Sounds like a plan. Everyone makes it back to the mess hall around the same time. Janice and Dale are in the back, reassuring everyone that they have mostly prepared already so that we settle down at the same table from earlier. It's so hot out today. Not as hot as Echo. Or even Pueblo, to be honest. Then why do I feel like I'm melting? Probably because you are actually working, let alone outside for once. Hey. Why don't we head down to the lake? If everyone else is done with their work, I still need to head down to the boathouse and make sure everything is accounted for. Once that's done, we can go to the dock and relax till later. That sounds like fun. There isn't much else that we can do without power, and I'm pretty sure that everyone finished what they needed to. Me and Trisha have just finished up, yeah. Miriam nods. Jan had said that her and Dale were pretty much done with everything too. Sounds like a plan then. We can take a few coolers and maybe some more barbecue if the power is still out. Do you think that Henry will get mad if he catches us? He just wanted the work done. Maybe we can keep the weed and booze in our cabins though. Well, maybe just a can or two each. Already an alcoholic, Hendrix. It just helps me relax. Adele and Janice arrive with a platter of food before we can all start laughing too hard. What is this about going somewhere? We're gonna go to the lake after lunch if you and Dale are all done. Everyone else is finished, so we decided that we should cool off. We're all done, yeah. Sounds like fun. No booze or weed though, in case Grumpy comes back. We'll just have to drink a couple of cans in our cabins before we go then. I never thought about that before. We'll make a lush out of you yet. We finish with lunch and help Dale and Janice clean up before heading back to our cabins to change. Dale shuffles over to the corner to undress while Ernesto comes to talk with me as the four of us get ready. I'm still worried about the power. I tried making a phone call to report it to get it fixed, but the power line is down too. Someone must have noticed by now then, right? Maybe that's where Henry is too? Just making sure that it's all taken care of too? I hope so. Maybe he's stuck in a road near a down power line or something. Maybe that's how we all got turned around. I don't think... Here's your beers, fags. Duke passes us each can, his swinging with his insult. Hey, lordass. The weasel stops behind Dale. Lift your beer on the bed for when you're done hiding your boner. I'm not... Before Dale can respond, the weasel rears his paw back and smacks Dale's admittedly fat ass. Hey! The weasel snickers as he makes his way back to his belongings. Me and Ernesto don't interject, the two of us choosing to just finish getting dressed instead. Dale shuffles back over to us once he's finished changing. Was that so difficult, Nutria? The wolf turns to Dale. I feel like more weight than being naked. Looks good on you. Ernesto makes a show of grabbing the bottom of Dale's stomach and gives it a firm shake in his paw. You're a well-fed businessman. Your survivability and genes are good for lasting the long winter. There's no longer cold winters than Echo. Then he's sure to survive and bring many offspring. He's not Mormon like Bronson is. Oh, you're Mormon? That certainly explains a lot. I'm not practicing. We know. If I was, they might send me to that compound up north. Having a compound sounds like a cult. I know. Can't exactly just move out of my house just yet though. Maybe you'll get enough from this job? Yeah, maybe. The door shakes as a long banging from it echoes through the small cabin. What the hell? Stop looking at each other's and let's go. We're waiting on ya. How did we get dressed slower than a bunch of girls? Probably because you were looking at each other's, like she said. Stop being an ass and down your beer, everyone. I stab my beer can with a claw. Dale and Ernesto follow while Duke grabs his and makes it back to us, stabbing his in the process. To a summer that we won't forget. To summer. To the money from this job. To all my new friends. We crack open the tab and chug the beer from the sliced open holes. Sometimes being from a hick town has its simple pleasures. We head all the way down and towards the creek. We pass the pier on the way to the boathouse. The others wait for me as I finish my short tasks of ensuring everything was there. Satisfied, we head out back towards the pier, ready to enjoy the summer sun, the cool water, and a light buzz. The girls lay out a few towels, Miriam opting to sunbathe for a bit on the wooden dock to warm up first. Trisha and Janice sit at the end of the pier, dipping their feet in as they chat amongst themselves with an occasional interjection by Miriam. Duke jumps over the pair, splashing them with cold water as he hits the lake surface right in front of them. I ignore a few expletives, deciding to see what Ernesto and Dale are talking about in hushed tones. Is it true what they say about otters in water? Oh yeah, totally. Now, I really gotta see it. Dale, you can't be telling non-aquatics about our secrets. Yes, of course we like to bang under the water. Oh, it wasn't a big one. Just that you and I can float without any effort. Oh. Everyone can float without effort. But we can really float, let alone swim without effort, and how it's much easier for us to dive and swim in general. I heard that it was like watching a feral snake slither on land. It kind of is. We do a kind of wiggly thing. You guys should show me. I mean, it's just how we swim. There isn't anything to show. It does look kind of funny when I do it too. Dale grabs his stomach the same way Ernesto did earlier. With my good genes and all. Well, I haven't seen it before and it sounds cute. Cute? Let's just show him, Dale. Before you pop a boner. How deep should we go? We haven't been here before, but we should be able to go pretty deep. There's 2 otters here, so there's no way one of us could drown. I grab Dale's paw, leading him to the end of the pier opposite of Trisha and Janice. Let's jump in together. Otters don't separate after all. He nods and takes a few steps back. We get a good running start and jump in together, slipping beneath the waves with barely a splash. We're swimming down into the cool water together in less than a second, our fur and rudders helping us glide down with ease. The water is clear and clean, much better than Lake Emma. I don't feel like I'm gonna get tetanus if I touch the bottom of the lake. We're far under the shore in a few seconds, swimming paw to paw. We're already 10 feet down, a sharp drop-off from the edge of the lake. Down a bit further, the rest of the body of water opens up to us, light barely filtering down as we hit 20 feet down from the surface and much further from the shore. Rainbow and brown trout swim past us. I have to suppress the natural urge to grab a bite out of them. Just a few more seconds and we're 30 feet down, the open part of the lake in front of us. It's not too insanely deep, probably no more than 50 feet. The water pressure wouldn't change unless we're at the absolute deepest part, and from there we can push off the bottom and find the surface easily. Not that we'll need to for a while. I look back, pulling Dale back by his paw to remind him that we should get our bearings before going any deeper. The shape of the dock is distant and there's almost no way for the others to see us even if their heads were under the water, our eyes a bit different than theirs. Dale motions out opposite of the pier and I turn to look. The pure blue and giant expanse of the lake hangs above us and below us. The bottom is almost spotless, with only a few fishing lines splattered about, a far cry from the litter and filth and slime of Lake Emma. I've never seen a body of water so well maintained, except maybe the creek near the compound, but nothing as big as this lake. It felt like I was supposed to be here, to be in this beauty and force of nature. There was enough fish for me and Dale to catch, and with the depth, it wouldn't be that hard for us to separate and catch enough. I bet that we could even live here at this camp, hunting and gathering like our forefathers, given to the otter of it all. I turn towards my best friend, towards Dale, and smile. He smiles back, awestruck just as much as me. We stay down for a few more minutes, paw in paw. The both of us head to the surface, not bothering to swim back to the pier just yet. We breach the water together, taking in a deep breath. The both of us could have held it much, much longer, but I didn't want to scare Janice too much. You asshole, I hate it when you do that and disappear for so long. She shouts clear as day from the pier. We weren't even gone for that long. But you don't know the water like at Lake Emma. We know it's better than Lake Emma. Yeah, it's crystal clear. We can see almost the whole thing. There's tons of trout too. We might not have to eat canned stuff the whole time. I can't see Janice roll her eyes from this distance, but I can feel it. The group talks amongst themselves quieter than we can hear. Race you back? You know it. Hey Ernesto, we're gonna swim back now if you want to see. I make sure to shout it. I can't hear his reply, but his tongue goes straight up as he heads to the edge of the pier and focuses all of his attention on us. On 3. 1, 2, 3. We take off together, racing back towards the pier. The group cheers us on, jeers and shouts of encouragement rushing past as we race to the pier. Gliding over the water is easier than running, but Dale has more practice than me in the water despite his size. I didn't always have the time to swim as much as I should have after work, but Dale almost always made time to get a few laps in after a shift at the diner. Those early morning swims made him smoother in the cold lake water too. I'm almost out of breath in the short time that it takes me to get to the pier. Going my full speed takes a lot more out of me than casual swimming. I reach a paw out, ready to grab onto the ledge and claim victory, but by the time that I hit the edge, Dale is already pulling himself out of the water, having made it a few seconds before me. Good job, Dale. Yeah, nice one, fat ass. Dale pants as he tries to gather his breath. Ernesto helps me up, his tail wagging almost violently. You guys were so fast. That was so fun. Janice pats my back a few times as I also struggle to catch my breath. You're not built for sprints, babe. You gotta pace yourself better. It was a race. I managed to eke out between deep breaths. Should have made it a longer race. Should you guys be doing that on a buzz? Miriam chimes in from her sunbathing position. Probably not. Dale says as he walks off, starting to spin from the exhaustion and alcohol. A small wave of nausea hits me as I realize that he's definitely correct. Dale breaks away from the small crowd of spectators and stumbles a bit before making it to the edge of the pier. Ernesto goes to grab him, trying to stop him from falling in, but Dale jumps backwards at the last second, falling into the water. Oh my god! Ernesto goes to jump into the water after Dale. He's fine. What? How do you know? He didn't make a splash when he dived in. It was on purpose. That? I can't hear the rest as I dive off into the pier, back into the water. I spin as soon as I enter and let myself float up. Dale passes me as he swims up, arms gliding through the water like there was nothing there. We surface at the same time, the two of us laid on our backs, tail to head on the surface. Relaxing otter time. Relaxing otter time. What the fuck is relaxing otter time? They're tired because they're both out of shape. They'll be floating and relaxing on the waves. Is that safe? As safe as me on this dock. Ernesto gives up, opting to dive into the water, Duke joining him a few seconds later, the wolf surfacing as me and Dale float together. Oh damn, you can't touch the bottom here already. Yeah, we're near the boat pier. It might be a bit better near the shoreline. I don't mind, I'm a good swimmer, but it's just a little scary. Don't worry, the lifeguard is on duty. I point a thumb towards my chest. I'll keep you safe, wolf. His tail wags underneath the water. You ladies should come into the water, it's great. I'll be there in a bit. I don't want to mess up my wool with the dirty water. I don't want to have to redo my makeup later. It's cleaner than Echo, much better for the fur. Why are you wearing makeup anyways, Jan? Because I'd rather die than go out in public without it. But fine. Janice pushes Trisha into the water off the side of the pier, the sheep going under with a loud splash. Janice joins her a second later, jumping in as soon as Trisha surfaces. My wool. Ruined? Like my makeup. The two splash each other as Duke and Ernesto watch, laughing at the pair. I close my eyes, the warmth and light from the sun tanning my vision a soft orange through my eyelids. To summer. I say it under my breath. I enjoy the rest of the summer day to its fullest with my friends. We enjoy the water together for a few hours. Miriam joins us in the water eventually, but has to sunbathe to warm up after a bit. The booze starts to wear off and I wish for nothing more than maybe a couple more to really unwind, but it's a fair enough trade-off, not having to worry about life for just a few hours. Janice and Trisha use Dale as a floaty, Ernesto opting to use me once or twice too. The sun eventually starts to crest behind the mountaintop and the temperature starts to drop. The others exit the water, shaking down with their fur as I swim up to the edge of the dock. I'm gonna do one more dive. Anyone wanna go with me? Go with you? Yeah, if you want to see part of the bottom of the lake. Maybe not the whole thing, but right here beneath the dock won't be too bad. I motion towards the pier with my head. I'm done for the day. Too lazy to get back up. Dale flops down comically on the wooden planks. Anyone else want to go? Might be a bit cold, but why the hell not? Miriam sits down on the edge of the pier next to me and slips into the water with a splash. I take her paw in mine and she holds her breath. I take the both of us straight down to the crystal clear water, the last dregs of daylight filtering from the surface. Miriam uses her tail to help swim down, the gilla much easier to pull into the water than her size would suggest. We've done this before, usually as kids, but she was a capable and competent athlete in her own right. It doesn't take us too long to reach 10 feet down, the gilla placing her free clawed paw in the sand at the bottom. I let her explore for a few seconds, the last light leaving the water as we sit at the bottom. She starts to panic at the poor timing, the sun just dipping behind the closest mountain. I hold her paw tight and she relaxes as I kick off from the bottom and take us to the surface with ease. We breach the water together, the gilla panicked slightly as she takes in a deep breath. The lake is dark already, almost completely covered in shade as the last of the light sinks beneath the shortened skyline. You okay, Miriam? Yeah, it just got a little spooked when the lights went out. Chip saved me though. She smiles at me as Ernesto helps her out of the water. I give her a salute. All in a day's work, citizen. I pull myself out of the ledge too, the water falling effortlessly off my fur. Dale and I are mostly dry by the time that we walk to the end of the dock, the others shaking out incessantly. Ernesto warns the rest of us to stay away as he shakes off giant globs of water near the end of the pier. He jogs back to catch up with the rest of us as we head towards the showers to rinse off the lake water. Do you think Henry is back? He probably would have come looking for us if he was. He could also be helping the nurse set up if he was back. He would have to come looking for me then. What should we do if we're here alone again? We could finish off the booze and weed. Probably shouldn't tempt ourselves with the counselors or campers around, especially if one of the little shits finds our stash. If he isn't back tomorrow, we need to send someone down the mountain at the very least, see what's wrong or get help for us. I'm not sure if I have enough gas. There's some jerry cans up here, but they might be bad. I'll go on my motorcycle then. Better mileage and it'll hold better with some semi-expired gas. Don't go alone, Ernesto. It's not safe. I don't think that we have a choice after tonight. The counselors are coming tomorrow and we don't know what we're doing. We should still get our money, but we need to make sure that no one else is gonna get hurt. No one is hurt yet. And I'm gonna keep it that way. Duke. I need to just go get this shit out of my fur. The weasel shakes his arms as water falls off of it. Let's get the bonfire going again and let's get high and drink with some barbecue. We can figure out the rest tomorrow, if he's still not back by after breakfast. Sounds like a good plan to me. I'm not so sure that we should again. Let's at least go check the parking lot. Chip, you're such a stick in the mud sometimes. Janice, this is serious. She rolls her eyes at me. That's probably a good first step. We check the parking lot instead of heading directly to the staff showers. He's not back yet. At least our cars are still here. We make it back to the showers, Ernesto and Duke not fighting about it this time. Duke's the first one to undress, holding his trunks up to the stream to help rinse them out. I think you really only need to do that with seawater. That's why I don't smell it all the time. Ernesto removes his trunks, doing the same. You smell worse than those two, Weasel. You're just addicted to otter ass. Duke's tone is lighter than his usual arguments. You're just mad that I can get some ass here if I wanted to. Faggot ass isn't the same as pussy. Ass is ass. You're just jealous that you're not getting any. With who? The town's mom or the town's nerd? Their genes are also strong, good for home building and endurance. No thanks. I'm not a fan of fat girls. Duke looks towards Dale. Do you find fat chicks hotter because you're fat, Dale? What? Yeah, I like skinny hot chicks because I'm a weasel. Duke pats his flat stomach a few times. And Ernesto likes faggots because he's a faggot. Just because you don't like girls with some meat on them. And Chip likes uppity girls with a complex because he's got something up his ass all the time. Aren't you dating Rachel? Duke ignores me completely. So, do you like fat chicks, Dale? This doesn't seem like the smartest conversation right now, Duke. And why not? Dale points towards the gap in the dividing wall. Ooh, well, I'm fucked. Duke turns off the shower head and wrings out his fur, walking towards the lockers. The rest of us finish washing in silence. We wind up back at the bonfire, Ernesto and Miriam getting the fire going as Duke sits icing his face. I didn't know a sheep could slap that hard. You knew Janice could. I did know Janice could. Janice walks back from the cooler, ignoring Duke, and sitting next to me. She passes the beer to Trisha, hers already open. Uppity? Janice glares daggers at me. I didn't say it, babe. Duke did. She ignores me, turning her attention towards Trisha. Did that conditioner help with your wool, Trisha? Yeah, the water is definitely a lot better than Lake Emma too. Thank you, Janice. The girls smile at each other, talking about their head fur to the point that I zone out of the conversation almost instantly. Miriam and Ernesto light the fire a second after I turn my head from the pair of girls. Let's get these weenies roasting. Did you get... Yes, we got the veggie weenies. Thank you. Miriam and Ernesto head off to grab the protein as Dale lumbers back up from the cabin, joint in paw. Perfect timing. He takes a long toke, holding it in for a second before exhaling. You guys want some? Everyone except Trisha passes it around, taking a long drag, and makes it around the semicircle a few times before Miriam and Ernesto make it back. They take a few drags themselves as the food is set up. Janice pulls on my arm and motions with her head. I pick up my can of beer and follow after her, heading towards her cabin. You better not fuck him on my bed, girl. A few whistles and cheers sound from the fire pit. We weren't doing that. I have no idea why Janice is pulling me to the side like this. She ignores them, taking me behind the cabin so that we're out of earshot and out of sight of the rest of the group. I place a paw on the side of her face, her eyes glassy. She sighs, looking away without saying anything. What's wrong, babe? I feel like I'm losing you, Bronson. What? I'm right here, Janice. I get down on my knees, hugging her around her torso, tears in my eyes stinging my vision. I don't understand. Ever since we came here, I feel like you're slipping away, like you're not always there, not always looking at me, like you're someone else. That's ridiculous, Janice. It's me. It's Chip. That's what I don't understand. You're the same otter, but something isn't right. When I look at you, sometimes it's like I'm seeing... Who, Janice? Him. Him? Him! You can't be fucking serious. You didn't see his face, Bronson. You didn't see the tire break his bones and his eyes and his... Fuck, his everything. then you should know that it isn't him, it's me. That look of terror, that look of grief, it's written all over your face, all the time, just below the surface. Now, why do you think that is? I grab her wrist. Why do you think that I looked sad all the time, Janice? You're hurting me. I don't let go. I can't sleep. I feel like shit, and nothing makes sense. My emotions, how you're reacting, none of it. Let go, Bronson. You said it was a fucking meth, but that isn't true, is it? You don't hear things on meth. You don't see things. Let go of me. Why were you leaving to come here, Janice? Don't say that it's because of him. You knew about this for way longer. Janice slaps me and I stop yelling. I throw her arm down and away from me. Don't you ever fucking touch me again like that, Bronson. Do you fucking hear me? I stand up as she continues. Who the fuck do you think you are? You're not my daddy. You're not even my fucking husband, and I'm certainly not no little house on the prairie ass girl for you to smack around. But Janice, my tears start to blur my vision. I didn't fucking hit you. That's not the point. Answer my fucking question. Fucking listen to me then. Answer the fucking question. You were going to ditch my ass before we killed that guy. Before you killed him. Before you dropped the van on his fucking head. How did you want me to save him? Look how fucking tiny I am. What else were we supposed to do? Not be driving fucked up on meth. Then you shouldn't have asked me to fuck you stupid in the back of my van in the fucking desert while we were off our shits. Or is that all you wanted me for? It's always my money that pays for it, and you only want to be on it. That's not fucking true. Then why isn't it working as soon as we're off of it? Why aren't you working when you're off of it? I didn't mean that. Fuck you, Bronson. She starts to walk away. Tell me, Janice. Tell me why you were going to leave me. Alone. An echo. Because I hate it there. I hate having to work at that diner. I hate having to do the same thing every fucking day. And looking at you reminds me of all of it. Everything we've done. Everything we are. It's that fucking town. It's keeping us there. Strangling us. They're giving us all the fucking meth and drugs and booze that we could ever want. All of it to keep us stuck there. And if we don't, it just sucks. It just sucks so fucking much. He was the only thing to ever happen in that town. He was the only thing that ever made me really sad. And I needed a break, okay? I needed a break from everything. Why from me, Jan? What did I do? You're everything wrong with Echo. You're the poster child for all of it. The hick son of a family with too many children. The body-breaking labor. The fucking drugs. It's all over your face. There was hundreds of you stuck in Echo. Stuck in Echo for generations with no fucking way out. The Bronsons were there from the beginning, and they'll be there till the end. You want a break, Jan? Is that what you want? A break from Echo? Yeah, it is. Then we're taking a break. A permanent one. What? It's over, Janice. That's not what I walk away from her, too ashamed to think about what I just did. How I just threw away that relationship that we had for so many years. How I blew up and made things worse than what she wanted. How I hurt her. I'm no fucking better than my pa. Everyone else just watches as I storm past the bonfire, grabbing another beer from the cooler before marching back down to the men's cabin. I down the beer in a few seconds, throwing the empty cup in the corner. My bed sheets are cool as I crumple onto the old mattress and start to sob. Fucking Janice. Why? Why did I do that? Why did I hurt her? I won't ever forget the look on her face. I pass out in my bed shortly after. And that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So, as you're going to see with Ernesto, we were spending some time in the sheds now. We got to help Miriam essentially basically fix the shed, and I guess hers is more of a storage shed. She's more responsible with keeping certain other miscellaneous things, I guess, in check. And I guess she has more of the canned food that Dale and Janice would have to be using. My guess is it's also sort of like, oh, there's light bulbs here, there's other stuff here, there's other things over here too. It's basically where you stick everything else that doesn't have a place or doesn't fit in the place that where it goes normally. And as you will see in this run and with the other run, with Miriam, you go into a little bit more about what happened without actually telling her what happened at the beginning of the story. And if you read original Echo, where this fan story is based off of, Chip is kind of recounting like, hey, so I may have killed someone along with Janice, and I feel bad about it. I don't know what to do. And unfortunately, because Miriam doesn't have the context of what's being talked about, she's like, oh, well, is anybody else gonna get hurt? And Chip is like, well, I guess not. So like, just ignore it. You'll be fine. And unfortunately, because of what's being talked about, that was probably not a good thing. Because like, you killed a man. Both of you killed a man, meaning Chip and Janice. And that's gonna be haunting you for the rest of your lives, to the point where it's gonna, depending on what universe you're in, gonna end up haunting your child, and it's gonna end up getting him killed too. So like, yeah. Maybe it's something you should actually be worried about, or at least do something about and not sort of ignore it. And also this is spoilers for Echo. Obviously, I mean, you should already be familiar with Echo, come on. And this is something that's shared between both routes. And I'm saying this only because I recorded both of them, the beginning parts of Miriam and Ernesto together, like back to back, so I know more or less that it's the same kind of, where Ernesto is like really flirty with Chip, and in the Miriam route, he doesn't really reciprocate it. He keeps telling Ernesto like, hey dude, like I already have a girlfriend, and Ernesto's like, well, I mean, it's there if you want. It's like, but Dale's free, right? And we know that he likes Dale too. And apparently, to wolves, the otters smell like vanilla. So that would probably explain why Leo Alvarez, which would be Ernesto Alvarez's son, likes Chase Hunter. But yeah, that's a funny little thing. What else? It is also kind of interesting how in none of the other routes you don't really go into any specifics about Miriam herself. She's just sort of like the older character, the mom, how Duke refers to her as. And in this one, Chip is seeing her more like, I don't want to say the older sister because that makes it seem weird, but sort of like just an older girl whom is actually kind of attractive. And despite the fact that it kind of makes her seem a little bit not heavy set like Dale, but like a bigger gal in some of the other routes, in this one it's sort of like, oh, she's actually kind of muscular. She's actually kind of like strong herself. And that's interesting. What else? Also the fact that once Chip is away from the influence of Janice and even Duke, or more specifically Duke, the way that he's seeing like some of people, like for example, Miriam and Ernesto are sort of like, oh yeah, these guys are kind of smart. They're not exactly leaders, but like I could probably trust what they're telling me. And then in referring to Ernesto, the way he goes like, oh, well, despite the fact that he doesn't know a lot of English. He's actually pretty smart, and he even goes like, yeah, the whole reason why I have this really bad image of Ernesto at the beginning is because of Duke. And honestly, that's valid because Duke is kind of an a-hole, and I'm sorry to say, but so is Janice. They're they're both kind of a-holes, and it's not so much the influence of Echo because Dale isn't that big of an a-hole. He's not even an a-hole. He's like a little sweetheart. Him, Dale, and Trisha are like the not the sweethearts, but like the nice characters. Janice and Duke are sort of like the mean kind of well, a-holes, kind of ignorant a-hole people, and it's because they're ignorant. And Miriam and Ernesto are sort of like they're just the smart ones. Well, maybe not the smart ones. They're just the normal ones. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm ready to see what's gonna happen in Miriam's route. Anyways, so what are your thoughts for Miriam? What are your expectations for her route and whatnot? Write it down in the comments, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Camp Ash yourself, you can do so by going down into the link in the description, which should have a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download and play the game. I do think that they have another one, but I don't remember what it's about. I think it's about Leo. I don't remember. They don't have any form of support, but if they ever did, just, to support them as an author, just an author, not anything else, I will link that down in the description, but they don't at the moment. If you would like to support the channel and get earlier access to these videos as they're being scheduled, could become a channel member, which, you go, hey, here's money on a monthly basis. And I go, hey, thank you. Here's videos that I have scheduled ahead of time. Go ahead and watch them. I also have some other stuff in there. If you can't support through there or don't want to, I do have Ko-fi. Any form of support is appreciated, like, subscribe, do all that other stuff too. Also, I have a throne in case you're feeling overly generous, but don't worry because I know times are tough. Oh my god. Yeah. It is 2026. It is barely the 3rd on January, and stuff is already getting bad, so I know, times are tough. So yeah, anyways, I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.